Good morning. I want to start by first thanking you for reaching out to me regarding this question of how do I up level or increase or tune in my frequency. First understand it like this frequency. I was born in 1968. And so when I grew up, we had a radio that had the big tuner on it, this type of thing. And we'd have to tune that radio in to get a frequency at a great level. We knew it was in frequency. You know it's in frequency when the music plays pure. And then we'd often tune it in and walk away from that radio, and a little while later it'd come off tune and you'd start hearing some static or maybe even another radio station that's trying to move in on that frequency. And so we'd have to go back over and adjust the dial. As humans, as people, we've got to do that all the time as well. How do we know we're in the highest frequency? Is when we have pure joy and love in our hearts, where we feel expansive, we feel like everything's running great. And when we're not in tune, when the frequency's off, it's when we're distracted. We have things like fear, doubt, and worry, things that are involved in our life that aren't expansive, that feel contractive. So you're here, and I'm going to teach you now. I do want to share with you there are many, many, many ways to tune in and tune up frequency, but I'm going to share with you 5 that I practice on a regular basis, and I hope this can help serve you. So the first one is this: to have more gratitude. Now, let me frame this a little bit. I'm not talking about gratitude as in a general sense. Here's what I know about each one of you that reached out to me. You are already a person of gratitude. You think about it all the time. The challenge I find most people around something like gratitude is we become casual to it. So I'm going to talk to you about a different type of gratitude, a gratitude that I call intentional gratitude. So write that down. My first key is intentional gratitude. The intentional part is what's important. And that's where we actually take an action to connect more with gratitude, not have it be some casual thing that we might be driving down the road and think about gratitude. I'm talking about a more intentional way of expressing gratitude. So you might start with a ritual. One of my rituals every day is to write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Now, I don't just write down 3 things. Over 5 and 10 days of period of doing that, a period of time of doing that, I can even become casual in writing them down. So I have to practice a discipline of what I call going from my head to my heart. Whereas I write the things I'm grateful for, that I put some effort to connect here and not here. Remember, we're talking about tuning in frequency. When we have gratitude, intentional gratitude, it shifts and moves molecules to help us align to our purer purpose. The second thing that I do is increase my clarity. So number 2 is increase clarity. How do we do that? Through goals and vision. It's that simple. Again, everybody on this that's listening to this, watching this, already know everything you can know about the idea behind goals and vision. But how many of us have really written them down and written them down right? Do you know there's a right and wrong way to write down goals? So let me give you the 3 reasons why most people aren't at their highest frequency around goals, and why so many people fail to accomplish their dreams and goals. There are 3 reasons. It's not accidental. The number 1 reason, they were never written down. So take some time right after this, watching this, or take some time this week and write out your goals, maybe this weekend. The second greatest reason why people don't accomplish their dreams and goals is they weren't specific in what they wrote down. It lacked law of specificity. We might have written down, I'd like to have a new car, but we weren't specific in the type of car we want. We might write down, I want to have a happier relationship, but that's so ambiguous, it's so vague that it's not specific. It lacks specificity. If I want to be tuned in at the highest frequency, I want to have more specificity in my life. So the second reason people don't accomplish goals is a lack of specificity. Be specific in what you write down for your goals. The third reason people don't accomplish their goals and dreams more often is simply this: they don't have a relationship with the goal and vision. That's the one that has been overlooked by even many gurus. See, we can go in the process of writing it down. We can get to the next step, which would be being very specific. But if we don't have a relationship with the goals and vision that we've written, it isn't going to happen. And basically, it's like taking the dial on the tuner and moving it to the left just enough to where there's some white noise. How do you build relationship with your goals and vision? The same way you'd build relationship with a person. You spend time with it. You ask it questions. Two biggest questions: what would I love more of? What would I love less of? And continue to invest time once you've written the goals and vision. So many people will go through that process, write the goals and vision, then it sits on the shelf for the next year. Don't be one of those people. Get clear, have very specific goals and vision, and build relationship with those goals and vision, even if they're simple. The third thing that we can do to tune in and tune up our frequency is to clear our minds. So write down number 3, clear our minds. What we're trying to clear our minds of is what I call the white noise or random clutter. My God, as things have evolved since I was a kid, right? When we were kids in my generation, we'd go outside and play, and we'd go for walks and ride our bikes. And nowadays, there's so many options around. First off, we're busy at work. Most of us are answering cell phones after work and texts and emails, and we're on a computer even when we're after hours. Then we're checking Facebook. We're checking our cell phone. We're watching one of thousands of options on the TV channel nowadays with satellites and everything else. So we have a lot of white noise going on. It's all around us, and we're absorbing that. One of the greatest ways to tune in frequency, to tune up frequency, is to find some quiet time in our lives. Now, I'm not talking about randomness again. I'm talking about intentionally. So here are some intentional ways that you can clear the clutter, that we can clear our minds of all the white noise that's coming in all the time. We can do meditation. Practice meditation. If you need help with that, reach out to me. There are many different methods of meditation, but it's a learned art form to help us find our calm, to get centered again. We can do it through prayer. We could go for a walk. We could have times in our household where there is no technology. I love that one. At dinner, if you're at dinner at my house and you're a guest in my home for dinner, and I hope you are someday, there's no technology at our dinner table. It is a way to remove the white noise. So figure out how you can be intentional around that. Carve time out this week that is absent of all the other white noises, where you can just sit and think or go for a walk or have a great conversation without all the stimulation that's coming in on a daily basis. The fourth way to increase, tune in and tune up our frequency is really to be a bigger person of increase. A person of increase is someone that is really engaged in every interaction with others, leaving that situation where they're increasing for the other person. So let me give you a practice that I do. It's not uncommon for me to have a mindset when I go grocery shopping. I like to go grocery shopping, ironically. And when I'm grocery shopping, I purposefully remember, and it's become a habit now, that I'm a man of increase when I grocery shop. What does that mean? I look for opportunities where I can help serve somebody. I look for people who maybe haven't smiled all day long, and you can see it on their face. And so when we get eye contact, I'll smile at them. Think about how you can be a greater person of increase. In my number 5 spot, I really saved for you. And that's this. Generate some fun in your week, in your life, in your month. Go have more fun. We often look at fun as an accidental thing that might happen. I'll be watching a TV show and it happens to be funny, so I laugh. I'm driving somewhere, have an experience, and then it's fun. Again, that's a casualness to fun. The more we're happy, the more we're laughing, the more fun that we're having, the more energy we are in terms of frequency, the more tuned in we are. So don't be casual about this one either. Be intentional. How can you have more fun this week? How can you and what can you do to create more laughter in your life? I'll tell you what, if you just practice these 5 things, if you go out each day with a consciousness of these 5 things, Miraculous things are going to happen. May not happen overnight. It takes repetition. But I promise you, amazing things will begin to happen as we focus on these 5 things I've given you. So I hope you have an incredible day. I hope that your frequency is more tuned in as you're listening to this, and that you're going to have an intention this week to tune up your frequency. If any of you want more help with this or would like to have a conversation, send me an email or a text saying, Chris, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. And I can either help you understand some of this a little bit better, or maybe help give you another tool that can help you move to where you're fully tuned in, because life is awesome when the frequency is at the clearest part of our lives.